You guys asked about raising the truck. Truck is raised. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Brad's Car Mods. I'm Brad. For the last 6 months or so, I've put all of my time, effort, and money into my K24 swap project for the Miata here. If you want to go check out that series, you can. I'll link in the playlist down below. Today's different, though. Today, I'm going to spend some time with the Blue Beast back here behind me. I got it pulled in the garage. Camping season is upon us here in Missouri. I take my family and we go camping all the time. We're going to head up to Yellowstone this year, actually. I pull a 30-foot camper behind that truck, plus the 5 of us, plus all of our gear. And so it's a lot of weight, and the truck's got about 145,000 miles on it. It's got the original shocks still. It needs new shocks, and the brakes need to be replaced. It needs new rotors and new pads. So that's what we're going to tackle today. Killing 2 birds with 1 stone, though. I also bought a QuickJacks 7000 TL series jack system back when I started this project with this car for the purpose of this project, but also just so I could do some other stuff around the garage with it. The nice thing about that is that it lifts 7,000 pounds. The truck weighs just under 6,000 pounds. But so far, I've only lifted my sub 2,400 pound Miata with the jacks. They're very versatile. It fits underneath the Miata, has about a 4-inch-ish pinch weld height off the ground. The truck is much higher. The truck is sitting on a rough country leveling kit, so the front is about 2.5 inches higher than factory, and the rear is about 1 inch higher. The nice thing about the combo pack that I bought from Costco for the QuickJacks is that it comes with some extender pieces, frame extenders, so that the QuickJack system can not only reach the frame, but also it'll jack everything up a lot higher. So a lot of people have asked in the comments whether I actually have lifted both the Miata and the truck. The answer is no. I've never actually put the truck up on the QuickJacks. So this is kind of a 6-8 month or whatever I've had it review check-in of the QuickJacks, and we're gonna lift something heavy today finally. So let's get to it. Alright, so once you get to the point where the vehicle starts lifting off the ground a little bit, before you go all 4 wheels off, just double check and make sure the spots you picked are really solid, and then go to where the wheels are just barely off the ground. And as with any jack of any kind, jack stand, whatever, give it a nice little shake and just make sure it seems solid. And then go all the way up. One concern I actually have with lifting this is this truck is almost 7 foot tall. And it's getting close up there, but actually it looks fine. More of a concern is up here. The truck is long, and the jacks, when they go up, they kind of go forward just a little bit, and so I thought I had plenty of room, but it's just bicycles. It's not going to hurt anything. But it's real close. Okay, I lied. I did end up having to remove the bikes up front just to make some room because this thing does end up coming forward so far. And while I don't need the truck super high off the ground because I'm doing brakes and shocks, I just need all four wheels off the ground. The first locking spot, which is right there, because the suspension travel is enough on this truck, it actually isn't raising the rear wheels off the ground. Funny enough. So I need to go up to the second locking spot to be able to get all four wheels off the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I had to, you can see it's going forward ever so slightly, but it's enough that it was hitting the bikes up front. It's close to my refrigerator up there now. It's going to be okay. It's going to clear the refrigerator. All right, there. It's resting now on the top lock right there. So like I said, there's two locking positions. Wheels and tires plenty off the ground. I should have it distributed enough to where, I mean, a lot of the weight's on the front, of course, where the engine is. But off the ground. So there is the QuickJack 7000 TL lifting a 2016 Toyota Tundra completely off the ground. There's so much room and space underneath that thing. It's ridiculous. All right, I got the truck up in the air. It's kind of warm today, so I'm going to take a little break before I dive into the shocks and the brakes and all and tear everything apart. I'm just going to do really quick my thoughts on the QuickJacks. I've owned them now for about 8 months, and I'll be honest, it's one of the best, I would say, investments in my garage I've made. They were $1,700, I think it was, something like that, from Costco for the whole kit. So they're not sponsoring me, by the way. I just really like the system and wanted to do a follow-up video. And as you can see, they're versatile enough to lift a nearly 6,000 pound truck, and also my really low to the ground. It's on lowered springs and stuff, low to the ground Miata. And this truck is, like I said at the beginning, a raised truck. It's not a replacement for a post lift. I don't really have room in the garage for a full lift. I would like to have one of these days, especially as I get older, because the fact of the matter is, even though it lifts it off the ground pretty high, you're still on the ground. You got lots of room on a creeper underneath there, rolling around, and that's great. And you got room to work above your head and stuff. But it doesn't get it, off the ground nearly as like a lift would get it 4 or 5 feet off the ground. I don't have room in my garage, ceiling height wise, but it gets it off the ground plenty high enough. And while it is a little finicky to get positioned properly, I think a jack and maybe 2 jack stands lifting the front or the back is a little faster. It's not as safe as this. This is way safer because it's lifting on 4 points all the time. It's way safer than a jack and jack stands. And like I said, once it's positioned, you just hold the button and it lifts the whole truck, the vehicle off the ground, which is fantastic. It's less work getting it lifted in general because you're dealing with, like I said, a floor jack and jack stands, trying to get everything positioned. You're all over the ground anyway. And so finicky to get positioned, but as soon as you get it in position, hit the button and it raises the whole thing up and it locks in place and it's super safe. You can, once it gets locked, you can push the down button and relieve some of the hydraulic pressure and then take the hydraulic lines off, which I did. And so I don't have these hydraulic lines to work around. One thing I want to show is the documentation that it comes with. Of course, you can just watch my other video on how to install all the pieces and assemble it. But here's the setup and operation manual. It's really good. Safety seems to be, of course, the number one focus in the manual. You're lifting a heavy vehicle, so of course it is. One thing I found was interesting is it also includes this. It's a guide for lifting points for vehicles from 2000 to 2022. This is a 2016. My Miata's a 1999 model, but it just has pinch welds, so I just got these little pinch weld blocks. But you can literally find the vehicle that you're lifting in here, and mine is a Toyota Tundra, which shares the same frame as the Sequoia. And you can see and how I did it in the video. The frame kind of bends in a little bit. That's exactly what. So my QuickJacks are kind of angled in just a little bit going forward, so I can hit those points. It's really cool though. There's page after page of different vehicles and their lift points, so that you can properly place them underneath the vehicle. And like I said, once it's locked in place, you can unplug everything and it'll just sit there. And now it's up off the ground. I can literally use my rolly stool, and I'm not breaking my back. It is high enough off the ground to do what I need to do. Like I said, I could do the same thing with jack stands, but jack stands just aren't nearly as stable. And to get the truck as high as it is on 4 jack stands, I've done it. I have to raise one end, put it on jack stands, and then the other end and put it on jack stands. And then, because my 4 jack isn't, it's also a low profile one made for the Miata and the truck, I have to go and lift the front of the truck and adjust the jack stands, and then the back, I have to do that twice, essentially. Same thing with the Miata. To get it on high up on the jack stands, I have to do front, rear, and it's also finicky to get it this high. So same amount of finickiness, but once you get it set, push the button, and it's up off the ground. So could not recommend these more. They are fantastic. Yes, they're a little pricey, but I feel like they're worth every penny, especially if you're trying to do a lot of maintenance on the car. I know that was a bit of a long thing, but I wanted to just give like a 8-month. I've used these things constantly with this Miata, my son's car, my neighbor's Subaru. We put on a rear, like a Reese hitch, trailer hitch on his for his bikes. So I've used it on multiple vehicles, just not something this large, and I wanted to address some of the comments. Thank you guys for leaving comments, by the way. I read them all for now. It's easy to keep up with. My channel's not too big, but comments like that help me, create other videos going forward. And so you guys asked about raising the truck. Truck is raised. Let's get to work. Okay, you won't see it, but it has been a rough couple of days. This truck fought me all the way. One of the nice things about a Toyota and Japanese cars in general is their bolts and all of the hardware they use is really good quality. So most of the bolts came loose just fine, and it wasn't an issue on the suspension. And like I said, I replaced the shocks and all the brakes and stuff. All that stuff pretty much came apart okay. I definitely had some issues where I didn't put enough anti-seize on the brake pads that I put on previously, and they were pretty seized in there, so it was tough to get those off. The biggest thing, though, was I had a sway bar end link that was the Allen bolt that was in there. It was kind of rusted, and I couldn't get my Allen key in there, so it fought me, and I had to cut that off with the Sawzall. And it's been a rough couple of days.
By the time I was done, I couldn't lift my arms.
But I have everything done. Everything's back together. Front brakes, rear brakes, front shock, rear shocks, all swapped out. I did put the truck down and drove it around for a little while, and everything is working okay. I do have it back on the lift because the hardware that I got with the brake kit was missing a few things, or it didn't come with the hardware for the front, maybe it was. So I just have some new brake hardware. So I'm going to take the wheels back off and put on this new fresh hardware, properly greased, and then put the jacks back down and be done with this portion. And then I also have something cool I'm going to put on the rear. So I haul a big camper. It's within the tow rating of the truck, but it does, when we have all of our gear in here, it does squat the truck quite a bit. I've been looking at a set of airbags, but my brother-in-law turned me on to these. It's from Timbren. It's a suspension upgrade kit. Basically, it's an alternative to airbags, and it's just kind of a big rubber spring. It goes in place of the factory bump stop. So the bump stops on this truck sit on top of the leaf spring. So if the leaf spring compresses too far, it'll hit the frame of the truck, and there's a big rubber bump in there. So you replace that, and actually you put this metal bracket where that bump stop would sit, and the spring goes on top of that with a screw in there. The idea here is to eliminate that suspension sag when you have a heavy load. The other thing that I end up having to deal with is, this picture is a good depiction. The truck squats enough that the front end gets kind of light, and so steering wise it's real light and not as responsive, and I wouldn't say dangerous, but it's to the point now where I know that I wanted to upgrade this kind of stuff in preparation for this coming camping season, along with changing out all the brakes and such. So to end this review, I pulled the truck back in, put the QuickJacks in, and lifted the truck again, and now I can take the wheels off, and when I'm done, I can lower it back down and put them away. Like, being able to lift the entire truck level and easily with the push of a button is so awesome. They're worth every penny, and when I'm done, they go and hang on some hangers on the wall, and I can use them for my Miata and this giant truck, and my wife's Acura ILX, and just my son's got a Mazda 3, and my neighbor's got a Subaru and an F-150, and it's just super versatile to be able to lift short things like the Miata and big trucks and stuff like that. So as long as it's underneath the 7,000 pound weight limit. Again, I said from the beginning, this is not a sponsored video. It just happens to be one of the more popular videos on my channel, the assembly of the QuickJacks, and I thought, since people asked how I like them or if I actually lifted the truck with them, I would do a follow-up review, and that's what this has been. So I'm going to finish this job up. Thank you all so much for watching, by the way, and subscribing and liking the content and leaving comments. Again, like, the comments are what kind of drove this video anyway, so I love seeing the comments. I love interacting with everybody. Brad'sCarMods.com. You can go get some merch. If you're interested, I'm doing a K-swap, a K24 Honda engine in my Miata. I've got links to all that series. It's sitting right here. I've got the engine in it right now, and I'm starting to wrap up that series. It's been awesome. And so go check everything else out. And Brad'sCarMods.com for shirts, hats, stickers, all the merch. Thanks. See you next time.
Hey, hey, hey.